may just be full. Then you'll just have to come back some other time.
I know. Well, I will be back. So, so you went to Hawaii. Just tell me about your grandchild.
Oh, she's darling. She was 9 days late. She's named after me. I feel like a man, normally. Her name is Cecilia. Luckett. And then her last name's Bixler. Anyway, so that's obviously not my last name. But her Cecilia Luckett part is. I'm Celia Luckett Bobo. I was Madeline Cecilia Luckett.
Bobo.
I'm married to Bobo. Yeah, okay. That's pretty bad.
How do you spell that?
B-O-B-O.
Okay. And isn't that the name of a city around here or
yes.
town?
Yes, Bobo.
Was that named after your husband's family?
No. Well, yes and no. What should I say? The original B-E-A-U-X was born in 1340 and somewhere in France. And the man loved sex because he had like 17 sons, all from and not all from the same woman, obviously. And some of those Bobos ended up in Mississippi. And so my husband's ended up originally down in Philadelphia, Mississippi area, where he ended up marrying he was a doctor, and he married the Indian chief's daughter. And so I said, we must have some Indian in some of us. I don't know. I never looked any farther. I just found this out recently. And then the other Bobo that's actually living in Clarksdale, so they're related just distantly, So anyway, I actually dated a Jack Bobo in high school. Okay. But it's not the Jack Bobo I married, oddly enough.
But you like that name.
Clearly. I must have. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty bad. My children had a hard time with that name growing up because it was, clown and idiot and can mean all sorts of horrible things. But I said, look, think about Luckett. Look at what it rhymes with. So I said, I just think whatever you end up with, there's going to be some sort of twist. So just get over it. It builds character.
Yeah. Good for you.
You
so do you do some Tennessee Williams for the festival?
Have I?
Yeah.
I have been asked to. Do I? I have not.
Okay.
One of my dearest friends is actually doing the documentary out of New York, and she's opened the museum.
Oh, great.
Karen Colehouse, and so she wants me to do some readings and stuff when we get down to the finals of the documentary. I told her if I'm in town, we will talk about it.
Great.
But yeah, they've asked me to do such things. That's just like my children will call me and say, Mom, how do you pronounce the things you cut with? And they're only doing it to be rude, because they're drunk and they're saying, that's the way my mother says sizzles, that kind of thing. So it's terrible. I said, you just shouldn't make fun of your mother. You just can't help it. That's just the way I try. I try to talk not like that, but it just comes out. And the drunker I get, the worse it gets. Because it just,
It's true for everybody.
I know, it's awful.
But here's the thing, is that dialects and accents are going away. We're all, like, your kids don't have this rich an accent.
Oh, they don't talk. Yeah, they In fact, my oldest daughter, I said, you talk like a Yankee. She speaks so fast. I just don't even process that quickly.
No.
I said, you've got to slow it down. I said, she's just in Memphis, for God's sake. So.
But it's true, and so this collection is so that 20 years from now, actors will know the way we spoke, right?
I guess.
I mean, because they'll do plays from back when, so... So tell me about some of your family traditions.
Family traditions. Oh, Lord, I don't know what our family traditions are, really. You mean like my immediate family, like with my children?
Yeah, like how do you spend your holidays? Do you all get together?
Oh, yeah.
I talked to a woman who drank beer every Christmas morning with her father, who was a teetotaler. So you never know. I like to hear these kind of
nice.
things.
But no, we don't do anything funky like that. We have so many grandchildren now, it's all about them.
Yeah.
So lately we've been going to Memphis, to spend time with those because there are 4 grands there. So we go up to Memphis, and we actually are doing the tradition that we had when our children were small. We're Episcopalians, so we go down for the family service on Christmas Eve in downtown Memphis at Calvary. And then we go to the Peabody, and the children watch the ducks proceed to go up to the roof. That's where they go every evening at 4 or 5. I forget what time they go up. But that's just this big thing, and they have this duck master who lives up, who brings the ducks down every morning like at 10 or 11, and they swim in the lobby of the Peabody. And then at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, they parade back onto the elevators, and they play this funky music, and they get back on the elevator, and they all go back up to the little duck houses.
I have never heard of this.
I was at the Peabody in Memphis,
What's the
in downtown
Peabody?
Memphis. It's an old renovated hotel, and they've been doing it for, 100 years.
Wow.
You know, so you could go and have high tea at the Peabody, which we always took our girls on their 8th birthday. They had their high teas, you know, at the Peabody. And so anyway, so we have our drinks, and then we go and have dinner somewhere because, you know, Christmas dinner is already, I've already set the table and gotten everything ready. So now we're doing that again, except now we're doing it with our grandchildren and our children. So it's really kind of nice,
It is
you know.
nice. It is
And I just found out that one of my grandchildren would not be there because he's recently, this one's divorced.
You have a grandchild who's divorced?
No, his mother's divorced.
okay.
And so he will not be with us Christmas, and I didn't know that. I didn't know
that's
they would take
heartbreaking.
3-year-olds away from their mother at Christmas, but I guess they do. You know, she'll get him back at 5.
Okay.
So that sucks. We'll just do Santa the next morning. You know, so we can do Santa 2 days in a row. Be all right.
You're gonna, right, exactly.
And we're going to do that for Easter because he has him Easter.
Yeah.
I said, well, why? He doesn't even go to church. And you know, they don't even want him to go to church. I said, so why can't he just hang out with family? You know, and she said, well, it's his weekend. So off he goes to Germantown to spend time with his father. So I said, well, you're off Monday, so you can just have Easter Bunny Monday. It'll work. It always works. Just make it work.
Exactly.
He's 3, doesn't know.
Yeah.
He has no idea. You know, Easter changes days every year, so who knows? It's actually the latest Easter can ever be is April the 22nd.
Oh.
And this year I think it's like the 22nd or 21st. It's late this year, which I prefer.
Do you give up anything for Lent?
Of course not, because I never could as a child do it, and so why do I want to do as an adult? Now, 2 of my 4 children actually give up stuff for Lent.
Yeah.
Which I think is ridiculous, but whatever. I'm not very good at religion, to be honest. I actually truly believe there's a gene for that, and I didn't get it.
There is. It's been proven.
I know that. No, but none of my family believes that. They just think I'm just, you know,
A sinner at heart.
I guess I am. I mean, you know, even as a child, I grew up in the Roman Catholic Church. And as a child, you know, we would, you know, they'd all go to Mass. Remember the Ecumsbury 220 when I was a little bitty? I said, why do they keep saying our address? Are they coming? And the nuns just lived down the street, and I would run and hide those big black habits, and they'd be going down in tandem all down the road. And I would go, oh, my God, the gods are coming. And I'd run back in the house and hide. They scared the hell out of me. But, because they did. They just lived right down here. It was the Sisters of Charity. It's now the Couture House, but it's where Jack and Blanche Couture. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Blanche from Streetcar Named
Yes,
Gazelle.
yeah,
She married a guy named Jack. She was Blanche Clark.
Oh.
You know, the Clark family, the original Clark family.
So-
She married Jack Couture. And at that time, the Clark house was actually on the corner where the Couture house is now.
Okay.
Clark Street moved a lot of their houses around. Blanche married this guy, Jack Couture, who's a lawyer, and she said, Daddy, I want my house to be on the corner. He said, whatever you want, darling. He rolled the house over. And so the Clark house, which you see right now on Clark Street across the street, you're actually seeing the side of the house. The front actually faced where Jack and Blanche built their home, the Couture, so that he would be facing their house. You know, that's like my house used to be there.
Oh,
And this was built here because they owned half the block.
Yeah.
You know, so then my house got moved over and put here instead of being over there.
So who are the Clarks of Clarksdale?
John Clark
Yeah.
is the founder of Clarksdale.
Yeah. Who was he?
I don't have any idea. Guy from England came in and ended up on a little ferry boat coming down south and thought this looks like a good spot. And he stopped and, you know, at that time they were cleaning the delta, you know, just, you know, clearing it out. And so he took his little stake right here and stayed. So, and this area of Clark Street and Clarksdale is the highest part.
Okay.
So, like, you know, I guess when all of the floods hit and all the, you know, New Orleans and Mobile and Jackson, Mississippi and New York and the entire East Coast and West Coast are gone, I guess we'll be just standing right here, a little fort, just right here.
With a little rowboat.
With a little boat. Hope it's not too small. It's a nice motor on it. I don't think I would be, you know, paddling very well anywhere. You know, but yeah, this is actually the highest part. And then a neighbor down the street says that this was actually part of where there were Indians obviously who lived here. Cahoma, it's Cahoma County, which means Red Panther, and you know, so that's what it means.
Bobo told me that.
In Indian or whatever, in the Indian language. I'm not even sure who we had here. Well, who did Bubba say we had here?
Choctaw.
Choctaws here?
Yeah.
Huh. I knew when the Choctaws were south.
Yeah.
You know, which is I think the Philadelphia people, because I think that that there's actually a casino
Oh.
that's being run by the Indians, Choctaw Indians in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
Yeah.
And they have I think they have a golf course too. I've never been there. I don't know. I've been to the Katunica ones, and I've been down to the Gulf Coast ones, and of course, Atlantic City, Vegas, but I've not been to Philadelphia. I'm
Do you
not
do
big on
your
gambling.
hair in a beehive and put lots of makeup on and
To go to the
to the
casinos.
Casinos, yeah.
I know that when I was 7 months pregnant with Grady, we went to Vegas on a business trip, and in those days, everybody dressed up.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like putting on your church clothes or cocktail clothes and going to gamble. And they gave you the little cards and they helped you out because I didn't know anything about gambling. I just took my little card to the little poker table and they'd go, and I said, okay, we'll hit. I didn't know. I won all sorts of money.
You did?
That was just, beginner's luck.
Yeah.
I'd have my stack and Jack would come up and go run off with it and lose it at the crap stable. Sure. That's what he still does to this day.
I'm sorry.
But now I just play like penny and nickel slots.
Yeah.
But I win.
Good.
I
Good.
mean, what the hell? It's fun. So, anyway. So now what?
What? Tell me about any big weather incidents here that you were here for. Like, have you been here for a tornado?
Yeah, but I mean, the tornadoes, we've been, knock on wood. Where's some wood? We need to find us some wood quickly.
Yeah.
Tornado with no wood down here. Oh, there's some logs. The tornadoes here, our friend down the street, Rob Tana, says that because of the Indians, that we are protected here on Clark Street. That there's not a tornado that's ever come down this street. Now, as a child, Moon Lake got hit, and it was just such a
Did you say Moon Lake?
Moon Lake?
This is where Moon Lake is.
Moon
That's
Lake is
from
just
Tennessee
right north of here.
Williams.
Oh yeah, well Moon Lake, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That's where who died there? John Cottrell. Oh, one of their children, I think, died at Moon Lake. I think he drowned. But anyway, I think he committed suicide too, drowned. But whatever.
Oh.
But no, Moon Lake got hit terribly by a tornado once, and I mean there were dead water moccasins everywhere. Like you'd go, it's like of course everybody's gone to Gawk and their big old land yachts, and that's because that's what what a land yacht is, right?
Yes.
It's a big old car that doesn't you don't wear seatbelts. And we were all in the land yachts cruising, and you'd go bloop, 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 and you're just driving over all these dead snakes that had been, because it literally just took all the water out, just tunk. Yeah, and then I guess some of it went back in, I don't know. But, lakes fill up on their own.
Yeah.
But that's really about the only tornado that I've had to deal with. I mean, we've had some scares.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Bubba O'Keefe's daughter married, one of his daughters married.
You had 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one that married on December 23rd over here at the Methodist Church. We were all getting ready to go, and I was waiting on my youngest daughter, the one who just had the baby. She was finishing up her law exams and was supposed to have been in Clarksdale like an hour and a half before. But they'd all finished the day before. And I don't know if you know about lawyers, but they all get drunk afterwards. Oh, yeah. The exams were over. So they spend that last night before anybody goes anywhere, and they just get completely drunk. Just like, God, the semester's over. And so she was feeling terrible. So she was supposed to come home early because we knew storms were on their way. And I'd called her and said, you've got to get on the road now. You've got to get on the road now. The storms are going to be here. And I'm trying to time it, and I'm looking at them saying, you've 60 miles, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm waiting at the front door. The sirens are off, and I'm waiting on Sims to come around the corner. And she does eventually.
Good.
And so I grabbed her, grabbed the dog, the cat, and her, and we got into we actually have a basement, but we choose not to use it if we don't have to. So we just went and gathered up in the little bathroom. And it was real close. It came just right, between where I live and my brother, where Bubba O'Keefe lives, out that area. So we never made it to the wedding. Everybody lost power, and we didn't have to be there early, so we never made it. I was not putting on my makeup and drying my hair,
With no electricity.
So we stayed home. We missed that wedding. But my brother went. He was there, and they said it was beautiful because they had to light all the candles at the church, and they actually used the candles.
Oh, nice.
So it was really pretty.
Pretty.
You
You live in community. You have community here.
Yes.
Have you ever lived someplace where you didn't have community?
No. Not really. I mean, I lived in Memphis and I've lived here.
Yeah.
It's the only 2 places I've ever lived. And in Memphis, I lived in Midtown.
Yeah.
And then we moved a little bit to East Memphis, but, it's just like 5 minutes away.
Okay.
I don't do suburbs and stuff like that. So, I think that's where you seem to lose your community.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
all the transients are, because
Yes.
everybody's scared of one another. But now I've
Right.
always lived in a nice little community.
Yeah.
So
Well, I envy you.
you know, but you wouldn't have it too bad in Maryland, would you? Unless you're living in Baltimore.
Well, yeah. It's everyone's working. Everyone's type A. I mean,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not so nice.
Yeah. No, it's not. All right. So, thank you
You're welcome.
so much, Miss Cecilia.
You're welcome.